Good day. My name is Lai Xiuyuan, and today I would like to present about my research. The title of my study is Survey on TESOL Teacher Trainees Readiness for Online Teaching During the Movement of Control Order (MCO) in IPG KBA. Now I will start off with the problem statement of my research. In December 2019, coronavirus, which is COVID-19, was discovered in Wuhan, China. However, due to the rapid spread of the disease in February 2020, this coronavirus was discovered in Malaysia, and until today, it has been the third MCO that is carried out in Malaysia. And for the safety of the people, schools are forced to close down. During this whole period of time, there are different researches that has been carried out all over the world. There are also researches about the readiness for online teaching. However, particularly in Malaysia, there is almost no research that can be found carried out among primary and secondary teachers or pre-service teachers. Therefore, the objective of my research is, first, to survey on the teaching tools and methods that are used by the TESOL teacher trainees in IPG KBA during MCO. And the second objective is to survey on TESOL teacher trainees' perspectives on their readiness for online teaching. And the last objective of my research is to find out the factors that affect teacher trainees' implementation of online teaching during MCO. Moving on to the literature review of my research, there is one theory and one learning model involved in my study. The theory is George Siemens' connectivism theory, which was introduced in 2004. According to George Siemens, connectivism is the integration of complexity, chaos, and self-organization theory. Chaos has been the new reality for the current knowledge workers, whereby they have to seek for the hidden pattern within chaos in online platform and form connections between the dots. Next is Terry Anderson's online learning model. This model is a combination of two diverse and competing models. The first model is independent study model. This is whereby the learners they work on their own pace in their learning. It is beneficial for the learners because they can decide on the level of difficulty of their study. Next is the community of learning model. This learning model utilizes both synchronous and asynchronous methods. It emphasizes on the interaction between teachers and learners. Besides, it also utilizes structured teaching and learning plans, which in turn binds the learners into group-based learning. Terry Anderson decided to combine both models into one to become online learning model, so that the teachers they act as facilitators and leave most parts for their pupils to pace their learning. So now let us look at the methodology of my research. This research has used a quantitative design. Alan, he has mentioned that quantitative research is a way to learn about a particular group of people, namely the sample population. Besides, I have also used purposive sampling for my research, whereby all the teacher trainees who participated in the study have utilized online teaching approach for their practicum partially or fully during MCO. Now, let's look at the data collection and data analysis. On the left side of the slide, there's a sample of the questionnaire that I have sent to the respondents during the research. In this questionnaire, there are 4 constructs, which are technology access, technology skills, teacher trainees, attitude, and ICT environment. Next is the data analysis. I have used an application which is SPSS to analyze the Likert scale. And the data are analyzed based on 3 categories. First is teacher trainees readiness under three different aspects: online teaching tools and methods, and also factors affecting teacher trainees online teaching. Now, moving on to research findings. So my research findings will be presented based on my 3 research questions. My first research question is, what are the teaching tools and teaching methods commonly adopted by the TESOL teacher trainees during MCO? The first pie chart has shown the percentage of teaching tools used by the teacher trainees. So here we can see that around 90% of the respondents have used quiz makers, 88.3% used online videos, 87.4% of them use social media, and also 73.8% has used online communication tools. As for the second pie chart, it is on the percentage of teaching methods that are used by the teacher trainees. So here, there are 66.3% of the respondents have used online classroom, 66.3% of them use game-based learning, and also 63.5% of them has used presentation during the online teaching. My second research question is, how do TESOL teacher trainees in IPG-KBA perceive their readiness for online teaching? So looking at the first aspect, which is technical readiness, the mean score is from 2.89 to 4.88, and the lowest mean score is related to teacher trainees attending seminar and workshops on online teaching. Next, looking at the attitude, we can see that the mean score, it is from 3.92 to 4.48, and it shows a very high level of readiness for all respondents. Let's look at the third aspect, which is support received from IPG-KBA. It is shown that the mean score is from 3.11 to 4.27. And the lowest mean score for the items in IPG-KBA support, it is related to creating a budget for implementing e-learning. Now, let's look at the third research question. What are the factors that can negatively affect TESOL teacher trainees' readiness for online teaching during MCO? First is pupils' participation during the online teaching. 50.68% of the respondents think that this aspect has affected them during their teaching. And 21 out of 37 of the respondents did not mention any reason. On the other hand, the rest has mentioned that there are lack of pupils' participation due to poor internet connection, lack of gadget, and lack of motivation. Next, the second aspect that I would like to highlight on is the distraction. There are 41.1% of the respondents that have mentioned distractions. So out of 30 respondents that have mentioned, 14 of them thinks that they are affected by the home environment and their responsibilities as a part of the family. And very small amount of the respondents has mentioned other factors like internet issue, neighborhood, pets, or other online platforms that had distracted them from their work. After looking at my research findings, I would like to wrap up the whole presentation with a conclusion and also the implication of my research. So for the conclusion, the respondents have shown high level of readiness in all 3 aspects, which are technical knowledge and skill, teachers' attitude, and also ICT support. Besides, there are also 3 main factors that has become a barrier to hinder the teacher trainees from achieving their online teaching objectives. First, pupils' participation. Second, distractions. And also third, internet access. Next, I would like to mention a bit of the implication from my research. So this research will raise the awareness among all the teachers and those who are related towards the importance of preparation for long-term goals, short-term goals, and also for the unpredictable situations like pandemic and so on. Next is also to raise the awareness among the authorities upon the importance of support in developing latest curriculum. Here is the list of reference for my research. So this is all for my presentation. Thank you and stay safe.